The following podcast is brought to you by Pizzot Productions.
Yeah, you made a lot of promises to the Macho Man, didn't you?
The first thing I want to be done is to get that piece of crap out of my ring.
When I said I loved you like a brother, Macho Man, I meant it.
Oh, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to an all-new episode of the Totally Necessary Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Kevin Porter. Holy shit, guys. Are we done with our marathon weekend? Is this the last podcast of the fucking weekend? Damn, dude. What a fucking weekend of professional wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. Between Ring of Honor not working for me, but between Ring of Honor, NXT, and SummerSlam this evening. Definitely capped off my summer of professional wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. I really enjoyed SummerSlam tonight. I was able to hang out with Jameson, and then Brandon Allen showed up, and he's not necessarily like he's a lapsed fan when it comes to professional wrestling. He doesn't necessarily know what's going on storyline wise going in, but man, he's always good to come down and watch some professional wrestling every once in a while. And so tonight, I threw the invite out there to anybody that was like wanting to come by and check it out. To totally do so. And so me and Brandon came out. We ate ice cream. We drank mineral water, and we sat around and took in the event that was tonight's WWE Summerslam card. Again, I thought it was very thoroughly entertaining coming out of it. Like, I, for the most part, didn't really think there was too much of a lull regarding in between matches and whatnot. I guess the pacing of the show is what I'm trying to say. Is like I enjoyed the pacing of the show and thought that it was really well done. So we might as well just go ahead and jump on in to the recap of this shit. So I didn't watch the pre-show. Looks like we had 3 matches on the pre-show here. We had Drew Gulak defeating Oney Lorcan in 8 minutes and 45 seconds to retain the Cruiserweight champion. So you saw Buddy Murphy defeat Apollo Crews by disqualification in a singles match. This match only went 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Hey, good timing on that one, guys. Fucking light a joint up for me now. I read something online just as I was like bringing up the information here before recording this podcast in regards to the results, and it said something about Eric Rowan disrupting this match here. So I don't know exactly what exactly happened here, but it sounds like maybe Buddy Murphy's going to get included with Daniel Bryan and Rowan. That would be pretty fucking cool, I guess. I don't know exactly where this is going, but apparently Rowan possibly had something to do. Maybe I'm wrong. I literally saw one tiny headline. Also on the pre-show, apparently Elias was out, and this prompted Edge to fucking show up, which obviously is Toronto, is his hometown. And he speared Elias, and I was like, what? Like, I never thought in a million years we would see Edge doing some sort of physical activity within a WWE ring ever again. And lo and behold, I watched the YouTube clip before getting on here for the podcast, and I was pleasantly surprised in regards to seeing that. So that was really fucking cool to see. In our last pre-show match here, we saw Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defend their women's tag team championships against the Iconics, ultimately defeating them in 6 minutes and 15 seconds to retain. So obviously getting I guess I thought the whole automatic rematch routine bullshit was gone, but apparently that's already by the wayside in regards to that rule being observed moving forward. So we kicked off the actual show itself with the actual main portion of the card itself, which I started the show actually about 2 hours late as well. It came on 4 o'clock Western, obviously West Coast time. I fucking had to clean out my chicken coop and I had to mow my lawn. So like I had to get some shit done, and it kind of gave Brandon some time to get some stuff done too before he headed over. So I didn't actually start this pay-per-view until about 6:30 West Coast time. and Brandon showed up for about an hour into the show and whatnot. So that's kind of where we stood going into the show. Which is why I love about it's stuff being on demand. Like I don't have to, I have to be in front of the TV at 4:00. It's like, no, we can start this whenever, we can pause whenever, like we can really watch this at any given time of the day. So that's always nice to have in the back of your pocket, considering, life is life and shit always comes up in life and rarely do things ever go right. So in that case, it's nice to have on-demand television. So we kicked off the show, though, with Becky Lynch defending the Raw Women's Championship against Natalya in a submissions match. This match went 12 minutes, 35 seconds. Definitely, I don't know. I thought not to say the match didn't live up to the hype, but it definitely, for the match only going 12 minutes and 35 seconds, Natalya ended up tapping out in her home country of Canada, which I really didn't think Becky Lynch was going to be jobbing out her championship right then and there tonight in Toronto. So apparently, though, Canada has a new hero, being Becky Lynch. I didn't necessarily enjoy this match, thinking this was I don't know. I guess on paper you would think, considering they did have a pretty hot match, at Stomping Ground with Lacey Evans and Becky Lynch opening up the show. It's not necessarily that I was against her opening up the show, but I don't know. They just didn't allow it to get to that next gear, I guess. I don't know. It seemed like tonight they really were trying to emphasize really solidly finishers as actually being effective. Because it's once these finishers were put in place, most of the time these people weren't kicking out for the most part. And it seemed like, at least, moving down the card, we'll kind of get to it later, pointing out specifics in regards to that. But that, I guess, is kind of a good thing, though. I mean, you would want your finishers to be as strong as possible regarding defense, these people applying them in these matches. And you'd want to see, because, the needless kickouts, do we really need to see 20 kickouts in one fucking match? Do we need to see, a Bailey fucking suplex 20 fucking times before we get the pinfall, as we saw later on in the evening? It was a pretty decisive, move being used, and boom, that's it. That's it. That's the finisher. And I like that. I like being able to hit that move out of nowhere and no one kicking out of it. So if that's something that they're trying to emphasize more moving forward with this whole Bischoff, Heyman, new era in WWE, count me in regards to being a person that would appreciate, finishers actually be meaning something in 2019, guys. Our second match of the evening consisted of Goldberg returning and facing Dolph Ziggler in a singles match. Now, this match only went 1 minute and 50 seconds. Goldberg with the second spear of the night. Obviously, now we saw Edge earlier giving it to fucking Elias. So Goldberg defeated Dolph Ziggler and hit multiple spears, I should say, as Dolph Ziggler continued to get on the mic, basically saying that Goldberg isn't man enough, and prompted Goldberg to come out two separate times and lay 2 more spears into him. So I think this kind of hopefully makes up for the whole Saudi Arabia bit with Goldberg knocking himself silly. It's good. I know as a performer myself, it's nice to if you end on something bad, you definitely want to get back in this case to the ring and clear that up as soon as possible. So I'm glad that they were able to allow Goldberg to come in just for this and destroy Dolph Ziggler. So kudos to seeing Goldberg on the SummerSlam card. We saw AJ Styles defending his WWE United States Championship against Ricochet. So we had Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows in the corner of AJ Styles. Now, this match went 13 minutes. I would say, dude, up until this point, this was my match of the night, dude. 100%, this was my match of the night. AJ Styles and Ricochet, I thought, did a really good job selling the story of the knee on Ricochet, and even Ricochet hitting that one-legged spring off the top rope and nailing AJ Styles. I'm really happy that AJ Styles did defeat Ricochet ultimately, and thus definitively, I guess, getting the win in regards to this feud. I don't know if this feud is going to continue in any way. I would be doubtful, considering the fact that Ricochet lost. But it's good to see that the OC are going to be continued to be a pushed act on WWE television. And I think that, eventually we can see another title run from AJ Styles down the line as your world champion. But I'm glad to see the United States Championship being held up to such high contention in regards to the champion being AJ Styles. I'm just a huge fan of AJ Styles, dude. I'm a huge fan of the OC. And I'm really happy to see that they defeated Ricochet, and we'll see where we're moving forward here into the fall, guys. We got a lot of new storylines I think are going to be popping up here, coming up tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. So I'm excited to sit back and watch Monday Night Raw. So then we saw in our next match was Bayley defending the WWE Women's SmackDown Championship against Ember Moon. This match went 10 minutes. Actually, dude, I thought this was actually surprisingly a good match. Kind of like, not to say it was the sleeper match of the night. Obviously the match only got 10 minutes, but I thought Bayley and Ember Moon told a really good fucking story here. And Bayley got the definitive win with that Bayley suplex off the top rope, dude. It's like you would have expected the kick out, but there weren't those kickouts tonight, dude. Like maybe save for the main event, which is like probably where you want that type of fucking reaction. I mean, the main event, you're supposed to build to the main event, right? I mean, these matches are supposed to complement each other. These matches aren't supposed to go out and steal the show. I mean, ultimately, yeah, if it happens, it happens. But I mean, the idea is you want to complement, this match going into the next match, and just ultimately have a good show, right? I would assume so. If you're trying to build the product up and not be selfish in regards to I got to get my shit in. It's like, in this case here, I really thought this was a sleeper match of the evening. And kudos to Bayley and Ember Moon for fucking bringing it. Even though I hate Ember Moon coming out and doing that scream, she'd be so much better off if she just kept silent and just it'd be a lot better off for her character, I think. But I mean, I think a lot of people thought Ember Moon may come in and snatch the championship, but kind of the telltale sign over the weekend was consistent booking, I suppose. I don't really think we saw, outside of the one, the main event of tonight, did we see any other titles change hands on WWE programming this weekend? No. And that's a fucking good thing, actually. I really think that's a good thing that we saw through a whole pay-per-view cycle where, they're not just, playing hot potato with these championships or anything like that. It's not like Ricochet's a brand new, two-time U.S. champion or anything like that, which, eventually he should get another shot. It's not to say these things won't happen, but it's just, at least in this weekend, we see things staying consistent regarding who has the championships moving into the fall here. So we saw Kevin Owens take on Shane McMahon. Damn. Now, if Owens lost, he would quit the WWE. This match went 9 minutes and 20 seconds. There was no way in hell Kevin Owens was going to... There was never a thought that Kevin Owens was even going to lose this match. Kevin Owens was going to beat Shane McMahon from the fucking get-go. That guy was over so fucking hard in Toronto. It was really... I think this was kind of one of the peak moments of the night in regards to that crowd reaction. Just seeing that crowd reaction to Kevin Owens, it's just this guy, there is something here, and I want to see him go and do great things in the WWE. I want to see him win a Royal Rumble. I want to see him win a WWE Championship, not the fucking Universal Championship, the WWE Championship. So seeing him get the win on Shane McMahon, and it wasn't the worst match in the evening, man. It definitely wasn't a dull match either. I think Shane McMahon fucking brought it, and so did Kevin Owens. And ultimately, Kevin Owens gets the win. And you had the heightened interference of Elias and stuff, which is it's needed for a Shane McMahon match. I mean, you got bells and whistles considering Shane McMahon. You hear the crowd every single time now. You can't wrestle. He gets those chants every single time. But I think he, as a performer, fucking brings it and is good for what he... I mean, they wouldn't put him out there if he was garbage. If he was consistently giving garbage performances, he wouldn't be out there. Hands down. Even if he is the boss's son. He's not going to be out there. But he is. So that means he's doing something right. So we'll see where Kevin Owens moves here going into the fall. It's honestly, I really have no idea where we're going to move towards moving forward for a lot of what coming out of this weekend. So I kind of see as a fresh, it's going to be a fresh start for sure, feud wise in regards to WWE television here in the next couple weeks. So we saw Charlotte Flair take on Trish Stratus in a singles match. This match went 16 minutes and 40 seconds. The crowd seemed to really be behind this match. I didn't necessarily think it was that great of a match. Like, I think Charlotte did a really good job carrying Trish Stratus through that whole entire fucking match. I think, for the nostalgia factor, it's good to see Trish Stratus in the ring. Do I need to see Trish Stratus in the ring ever again? Probably not. She had her time in WWE. I'm glad we saw the passing of the torch because obviously Charlotte Flair picks up the win here via submission. Trish Stratus got her standing ovation, again, getting to retire a second time, I guess, in Toronto. So that's pretty cool. Again, not to say it was a garbage match, but would I say this was my match of the evening? By far not, definitely not. But again, the crowd seemed to like it. I mean, I heard "This is awesome" chants here and there, and for that, great. I'm glad people enjoyed it if you did. But again, I'm glad to see Charlotte Flair did get the win, though. That's definitely something I can say positive about that match. Kofi Kingston defending his WWE Championship against Randy Orton. Now, this match went 16 minutes and 45 seconds, and it kind of does seem like this will continue. Obviously, this ended in a double count out. But damn, dude, this was some damn fucking good fucking shit here, dude. I really enjoyed Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton. They fucking fought tooth and nail throughout the whole entire match. Then obviously, Randy Orton got caught up in the 10 count and talking shit to Kofi Kingston's kids. That obviously set a screw loose with Kofi, and Kofi just lost it and just beat the shit out of Randy Orton at the end after the match had already ended. Even if it, like, normally I fucking hate these gimmick fucking endings. Seeing a double count out, because obviously this is gonna extend to Night of Champions. Like, this is gonna be your match, and I'm looking forward to it again. Because Kofi Kingston has yet to fully defeat Randy Orton, although he beat the shit out of him tonight with those kendo sticks. Like, just took Randy Orton definitely took a fucking beating Sunday evening. So I'm looking forward to seeing this feud continue. I don't see Randy Orton ultimately ever coming out with the WWE Championship, but the fact that they're going to continue this feud is all right by me, guys. It's all right by me. So we saw The Fiend take on Finn Balor in a singles match. This match only went 3 minutes and 25 seconds, but damn, what a spectacle it was seeing The Fiend make his official in-ring debut. Hopefully this guy is not wrestling every single fucking Monday. Hopefully they take the character of Bray Wyatt a little more seriously this time around, and treat this guy as a special fucking attraction. This guy is money. You knew he was money all the way back in 2014 when he debuted at SummerSlam. And seeing it 5 years later, or I guess it was fucking 6 years. That was 2013, dude. Holy shit. That fucking long, dude. 6 years, dude. Man, it was quite the presentation that they're giving the Bray Wyatt character here in 2019. And again, I am optimistic to see how this goes, and hopefully again, it really feels like we're under a new era in WWE with this whole Bischoff Paul Heyman thing. And I know ultimately Vince McMahon is the one that still signs off on this shit, but I really think with the giving competition with AEW that they do have a chance to continue to just get their shit together and put on a damn good fucking show, dude. I just it's moments like this when you see characters like The Fiend that you just kind of fall that much more in love with WWE. It's like, fuck. It's like, it truly just shit. I'm trying to think of the Stockholm syndrome. It truly is Stockholm syndrome in that sense. It's like WWE can do no wrong. Oh no, and then they fuck up the Fiend character fucking by WrestleMania. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully this guy has years to come. And with this character can truly take over that Undertaker-esque type darkness, that WWE has, kind of been missing. I mean, Bray Wyatt's initial introduction was kind of supposed to be that, but they mishandled the fuck out of it, dude. And before you knew it, dude, the character of Bray Wyatt didn't mean fucking shit. But given what they've done with taking him off TV for the last year, he's been off TV for a whole fucking year, it feels like. The guy's obviously rejuvenated. revitalized, I guess is probably a better word. He's ready to work. It's not to say that the matches are going to be that good, but it's the spectacle, though, I guess, right? I mean, the Undertaker's matches weren't always the best, especially back in the 90s. It was that spectacle, that entrance. That entrance was amazing tonight, dude. That's just like Brandon was sitting here, and he just like, it's like you could tell he fell in love with that character tonight. If you're listening, Brandon, you fell in love with the Fiend tonight. I know you fucking did. So obviously, Finn Balor comes out in all white. Actually, I kind of enjoyed his choice of colors, but he gets taken out by the Mandible Claw. The Fiend is victorious and, is out. And then, it's not like Finn Balor got viciously, violently laid out or anything like that. He got up and walked away. But the crowd was just like, that was awesome. And it was like, yeah, dude, that was fucking awesome. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where the Fiend character goes. And ultimately, I mean, we will see the Demon versus the Fiend. I think that's the match you're building towards at this point. And I don't know when that happens, but I think the Fiend has to defeat the Demon. Like, he has to defeat the Demon. Like, the Fiend has to be the one that terrorizes and destroys Finn Balor's Demon. So, our main event of the evening, guys, we are there. The WWE Universal Champion Brock Lesnar defended against Seth Rollins. Now, this match only went 13 minutes and 25 seconds, but damn, dude, pretty solid effort between Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar. I thought, Jameson was in here rooting like a motherfucker for Seth Rollins. It's like you kind of knew Seth Rollins was going to win, and we still kind of question, like, well, what the fuck, like, was the point of taking the title off Seth Rollins for a whole month? It's like, okay, great. Now he's a 2-time Universal Champion. Like, does that really fucking matter? I mean, I like the fact that, he was the only person to win a championship this weekend. So that does make it special, I think, on, with that being on WWE TV. And him being the only person to win a championship, or at least, yeah, there is specialness in that. But I mean, like, I just question, like, what was the point then? I guess it gives him a proper win over Brock Lesnar, if anything. I mean, that really, it's not a fluke. He took him on at his worst. I mean, Brock Lesnar swinging him by that fucking, like, whatever that wrap was around his stomach, dude. Like, that was badass, dude. That was so fucking cool to watch. That frog splash off the top rope through the announce table was badass. I mean, they did the match proper, and I guess if that's the reasoning that was given to me, I would accept that. It's like, okay, I can understand why you took the title off him at Extreme Rules and Brock Lesnar, successfully cashed in. So, with that being said, I fucking thought the main event was pretty fucking decent, dude. I thought it was pretty fucking decent and capped off a pretty amazing night, honestly, in regards to WWE programming. I think WWE really knocked it out of the park this weekend with both NXT and SummerSlam. It's going to be interesting to hear everybody else's take on SummerSlam. Hopefully I'm not just, looking through this with like rose-colored glasses or anything. I didn't think the Charlotte, Trish Stratus match was all that special. I think some people are probably going to overhype that. I think a lot of people are going to be like, well, it was the best match of the night. It's like, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I like that Kofi Kingston Randy Orton match, especially in the ending. I thought the ending was really good. I really liked. Let's see here. I really did like the AJ Styles Ricochet match. I thought that was really fun. Goldberg defeating Dolph Ziggler. The Becky Lynch and Talia match was pretty much a dud in my opinion. That was pretty fucking disappointing. Bayley versus Ember Moon, again, that was kind of my sleeper match. I thought that was actually pretty fucking competitive, and I wouldn't mind seeing both Bayley and Ember Moon face off with each other here down the line. Kevin Owens' reaction just within him in Toronto was worth the price of admission, in my opinion. The Fiend, I think, again, worth the price of admission, without the lack of anything else to say about it. It's just like, just take my money. Just take my money. The Fiend and Kevin Owens, dude. That would be pretty fucking, that would be the Fiend versus Kevin Owens. Damn, dude. I don't know. Did we just book WrestleMania? And probably not. But, still, it's fun to fantasy book every once in a while. And then Seth Rollins winning the Universal Championship. I'm glad Seth won the championship back, and he can continue a dominant reign as the WWE Universal Champion. So, all right, guys, that's fucking SummerSlam, dude. Holy shit, dude. I'm so tired after this weekend. But, dude, I feel like we ended on a strong note here. We ended on a very strong note, and I'm really looking forward to watching SmackDown this week, along also with WWE Raw, I should say. I'm looking forward to watching WWE Raw and then SmackDown this week. So, with that being said, obviously, Night of Champions is coming up. We got AEW's All Out coming up in just a couple weeks, dude. That's just a couple weeks. I look at my calendar today being the 11th as we record this. Just a couple more, 10 more minutes left in this day before we hit the 12th here. But that's just a little bit. It'll be 2 weeks this coming Friday from when All Out will be. So I think our coverage of AEW definitely needs to ramp up. Looking forward to the next 2 months of professional wrestling, guys. We got a lot of shit going down. We got SmackDown moving to Fox, AEW debuting on TNT. NWA just announced that they're doing their own television tapings at like a small studio in Atlanta, Georgia. So they're kind of taking it back to like, the 70s when it was just a small soundstage, and that's pretty fucking cool, dude. So I'm looking forward to NWA too. Dude, it's just a great time to be a professional wrestling fan, guys. I hope you guys out there are just as happy with what you're getting to see. I mean, I know everybody's like, oh, fuck WWE. It's just like, well, hopefully you're watching AEW. Hopefully you're watching Ring of Honor or, MLW or whoever, New Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean, the G1 finals are taking place this morning, I should say, as I'm recording this, with Jay White and Kota Ibushi in the finals for the G1 tournament. So the winner of that faces Okada at Wrestle Kingdom. It's like, damn, dude, it is a great time to be a professional wrestling fan. So, dude, again, thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen. We got brand new episodes dropping on you guys all fucking week, dude. We got brand new episodes of the In the Mouth of Madness podcast dropping. Very first episode of the Death Wish trilogy. So if you're a fan of Charles Bronson, totally dust off that old copy of Death Wish, sync it up this coming Wednesday with our commentary, with our riff track, and fucking enjoy the shit out of that. We'll be back with the podcast that no one listens to. Jason Brummett, again, as long as everything goes as planned tomorrow, we'll get that podcast recorded this week, and Jason Brummett will be on the podcast this coming Thursday. And then again, we'll be back with our coverage of the week that was for this coming week of professional wrestling, this coming Friday. And with that being said, guys, I'm fucking Kevin Porter. What? No, that sounds weird. I am Kevin Porter. You guys have a good night. Peace.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Oh, hey, let me get something straight. Those of you who are cheering me right now, you are just the biggest part of me leaving as anything else.
I want you to know I'm not crying. My eyes are red because I was in the back smoking a joint with Van Dam.
This podcast has been brought to you by Pizza Productions.